What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to be talking about some PPC strategies, some Amazon pay-per-click or Amazon sponsored ads strategy. I get a lot of questions about PPC all the time, and I'm going to cover the #1 most asked question that I get a lot. If you're here for either you want to learn how to set up PPC, or you want to learn how to rank on page 1 for PPC, or you want to optimize your PPC, at the end of this video, I'll link to a couple other videos that I have on PPC, but you should definitely watch this because I have a ton of information in this video, and we're going to talk about the #1 question that I get asked from like my Facebook group members and friends and stuff like that. So I have a Facebook group link down below. You can join it for free. But the #1 question that I get asked is, because of this new feature that came out, I believe it was at the beginning of the year, it's about dynamic bidding. So when you set up a campaign now, whether it's on a keyword or whether it's on a product page where you're showing your ad on another person's product, and there's ads all over products now. That's just how Amazon is. They ask you if 3 types of bidding. Do you want to have fixed bidding? Do you want to have dynamic down? Or do you want to have dynamic up and down? And I'm going to explain to you what each 3 of those types do, because they all work for certain situations. I'm going to give you my suggestion for most people what they should use. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some of my campaigns with some product pages, PPC results, and some keyword results. And I'm going to show you something that you probably didn't know existed in your PPC campaigns. So all that'll be at the end of the video. Also, I'm going to announce the winner for the next free phone call giveaway with me. If you want to be entered, just add a comment and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's switch over to the computer and I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. Okay, so we're over here on the computer and we're going to talk about dynamic bidding. So when you have a campaign set up, whether they're old campaigns or new campaigns, you're going to have these options right here, okay? And we're going to talk about this part here first. So dynamic bidding. So first, let's talk about fixed bids. Okay, so this is like if you've ever used Google Ads or previous PPC platforms in the past, it's fixed bids. Okay, so you would want to use fixed bids if you want to show up more, because it's going to give you more impressions than say dynamic down will. And I only use fixed bids in a few certain circumstances because it shows your ad all the time. Okay, and that is, exactly when you want to use it. So if you're converting very well for a specific keyword, or really I use them for a product page. So if I have a product ad that I'm targeting, I'm targeting somebody else's product and my ad shows up on their page and I know it's converting well, my numbers show it's converting well. Sometimes I will test always test first, but sometimes I will test with fixed bids. And what that'll do is it'll show your ad more, okay? And then if you already know you're converting well for this specific keyword, test fixed bids and see how it performs for you, okay? So the next one we're gonna talk about is dynamic bids up and down, okay? So what Amazon has done with their algorithm is they have found ways, and again, there's probably a whole bunch of ways. It's all computer algorithm, and there's probably like a million lines of code, we don't know exactly what all their code says, but we do know some stuff just from testing how things work. Is they will either raise your bid by up to double, okay, or lower your bid with dynamic up and down based on if they think that the particular person looking at your product is likely to convert to a sale. Okay, so they can actually double your bid. So if your bid was like $1.50, they can actually double your bid up to $3, okay? So I only suggest using dynamic up and down for people that are very seasoned PPC, okay? And you have a seasoned product. So let's just say you have a product with like 100 reviews and it converts well and it's like great ACoS at, 20% or something, and your profit margins are 40%, so you're making really good money with PPC and ranking, okay? Then you might want to test dynamic up and down. And again, keep a close eye on it when you test it because, again, they can double your bid at any given time, okay? And it's per person. So what I have noticed is Amazon with dynamic up and down or dynamic down is one of the features in their algorithm is they will it depends on if somebody's logged into their account, okay? So if they just go to Amazon.com and they're not logged in, if you have dynamic down, for example, you are more likely to not show up, okay, on, say, a product page or in the search result because the person is not logged into their Amazon account, okay? Because if somebody's not logged in, they're not as likely to buy, okay? And plus, it could be bot traffic or something. Amazon, is typically pretty good with that. They'll delete most of that stuff. But if someone's on Amazon.com and they're browsing searches and they're not logged in, that means that they're not a Prime member, or Amazon doesn't know they're a Prime member, they're not logged in, so they're at least less likely to buy. So dynamic bids down only is what I have seen is the best converting ACoS wise, okay? It's the best bang for your buck, okay? So I suggest that probably 90% of you should be using dynamic bids down only, especially if you're starting with a brand new PPC campaign. Go with dynamic bids down only. If you switch to this, if you're using a different setting and you switch to down only, you may want to raise your bid a little bit because you will get less impressions. Because again, Amazon's not going to show your ad to somebody who's not logged in, or they're going to, reduce your bid. So like instead of your bid being like $1, Amazon might reduce your bid, in their eyes to 70 cents. And your ad might show, but it might be a little bit farther back on a product page or a little bit farther down on a keyword page. So keep that in mind. But if you use dynamic down and you want more sales, okay, first thing I do is I suggest you raise your bid. And of course, let me back up. Always raise your daily budget first, okay? So with almost all my campaigns, or actually all my campaigns, I do not hit the daily budget, okay? Because if you have, let's just say you have a $20 daily budget and you're hitting your daily budget, you hit that $20 and the ad stops during the day and you run out. That is not the best optimization for your category or for your product. So what you should do is you should raise your budget to say $30 or $40, and you should lower your clicks a little bit. So lower your bid by say 10 cents, okay? Because what can happen is if you're hitting that $20 budget and you're running out, if you only want to spend $20, you're bidding too high, okay? Because you're paying more per click and you're running out. So what you should do is lower your bid. So instead of paying, say, $1 a click, you might pay 80 cents a click, and you'll be able to get 20% more clicks, but not run out of budget, okay? So your goal would be to, lower your bid, still spend around the same or whatever around you want to spend, with more clicks for less money, okay? So you can read my notes over here to the left that I've kind of compiled over the time. Down only is the suggested one. Fixed is if you want more impressions, you're already converting well for a specific keyword. And then up and down is used for either two ways. For products that have, let's just say 100 reviews, they're very established products, and or you are an established PPC person, you know what you're doing. Or the other time you would want to use it is if you're trying to use PPC to rank pretty quickly, okay? Because if Amazon thinks that there is a buyer that's likely to buy a specific product because they know their buying habits or they know their searching habit, and you use up and down, again, if you're just trying to get to page 1 and you're not really concerned about ACoS right away, which is pretty smart to do a lot of times, you might want to try up and down and see how it performs for you. Because again, if your goal is only to get to page 1, when Amazon thinks that somebody's likely to buy, you want to be on page 1. You want to have your ad there, okay? So the other thing here is you can adjust your bidding here for product pages or top of search, but I'm going to show you that here on another screen. Okay, so here is the typical screen that you might be used to looking at. This specific keyword is for an ASIN. It's a product page. It's just one product, okay? I tend to, when I know that things have volume or they have, good search volume, or even a specific product that gets a lot of traffic and I know it converts pretty decently, I tend to put them in their own campaign. because I can adjust all the settings for that exact campaign. And again, once you get them adjusted and they're running, they just kind of run, okay? So this is the page that everybody is used to looking at, okay? But what you might not know is recently this year, they added what is called the placement tabs, okay? And here is the exact same product, or, you know, I'm advertising on their product. This is the exact same campaign, but it shows you a whole lot more information. And a lot of people don't even know that this placement tab exists. So again, this is targeting a product. So you can see that the product pages here gets like, I don't know, what is it, like 80% of the impressions, the clicks, and the sales. But what's interesting is that even though you're targeting an ASIN, Amazon still shows your ads in search a little bit. I mean, 21,000 impressions here in search, and, you know, 246 clicks. But look at what the ACoS. The ACoS was terrible here. You know what I'm saying? And top of search, it didn't really have a lot. I mean, it did spend $25, but I mean, in the big scheme of things, that's nothing. So Amazon has these new things here where you can adjust your bid adjustment. So for example, if you had a product that was converting really well for a top of search, you could adjust your bid for that specifically, okay? And I recommend you don't go crazy, because I've tested that in the past where I just went really crazy to try to get things for top of search, and typically it didn't perform well, so I don't really use that. But what you can do is, if you have something, and I'm gonna show you a couple more examples here of a couple campaigns. If your top of search is performing well, you might want to raise your bid adjustment here by, say, 10%, and then test it. Let it run for several days or a week at 10%, and see what your results are. Then you can adjust it back down or back up, you know, and go from there. So again, this is on an ASIN, and notice here that this is my fixed bids example. This is one of the, I know that I want to target this product, and I tested it. I wanted it to show up all the time because, again, I was just getting sales and it was performing well. So I went with fixed bid. So on this next example here, this is another product page, but this is down only. And again, I'm advertising on a product. So again, you can see the impressions here. 90% of them are on product pages, and you're still getting like maybe 10% on search pages. Now, in this case, the search really was about the same, you know, so it wasn't that bad. And top of search just didn't get a lot of results because, again, I'm not really focusing a keyword there. So, and again, this is all information you want to know. Okay? You know, you're going to have this for each campaign. So that's why if you kind of have one keyword or one high-performing product page in its own campaign, you can see all this information. You know, if you have 50 keywords in one campaign, it's going to be very hard to decipher what keyword and everything all this information is for. So on this next page, I'm going to show you a keyword example. And this was the most like revealing thing that you would never think that this would happen. So what happens is when you go and bid on a keyword, let's just say you bid on camping tent, okay? Most people assume that their ad is going to show, you know, on page 1, Amazon for camping tent, whether it's at the top of page 1, the middle of page 1, the bottom of page 1, or maybe on page 2, because a lot of products still get a lot of sales on page 2. But what people don't realize is that, look at the impressions here, okay? And again, this is focusing a keyword, okay? This is not an ASIN, this is not a product. This is literally just putting a keyword in. I have 3 placement types: exact match, broad match, and phrase match, all the same keyword. And this is typically what I see for almost every keyword I target, that the vast majority of it still shows up on product pages, okay? And that's just kind of the way that Amazon works right now. So in this particular example, you could see that the product pages and the top of search both kind of performed the same in ACoS, and rest of search, you know, was not really that good. It only has 1 sale here, but it just doesn't get a lot of results here. Okay, so, but notice when I do get the top of search, look at my cost per click versus down here. So instead of 85 cents, it's $1.33 cost per click. So that's like 50% more cost per click, but the ACoS was about the same. And again, I'm just not getting a lot of impressions. So what I could do, this campaign is not really, you know, geared towards losing money and ranking. A lot of times if you just want to rank on page one, you have to kind of lose money, and that's okay because you're just kind of, it's worth it because every sale you get with Amazon PPC helps you rank, okay? So if you get, you know, 20 sales for Amazon PPC for one keyword, it's going to help you rank. You're going to, you know, jump to page 2 right away or page 1 right away, just depending on how many sales you need. So Amazon PPC helps you rank. It's not always about ACoS, okay? And my ACoS is, or my profit margin is normally between 40 and 50% for any particular product. So that means that if my overall ACoS here was 40%, I would be breaking even, and anything below 40%, I'm profiting. But again, PPC has two factors. It's not just to profit, it's also to help you rank, okay? Because if you spend some money and you get to page 1, you know, you don't have to run as much PPC. So that's when I dial it down and I just kind of run it for ACoS, okay? Also, I suggest if you do get in like the top 5 for a specific keyword, I suggest lowering your bid for that keyword, okay? Because just my personal opinion, if I'm ranking, say, number 3 for a keyword, I don't really want to pay to have an ad way up there that high, but I am okay with having it show maybe at the bottom of the page at a, you know, round result maybe 20 or 30 or 40, because again, that means somebody like passed up my listing and then they'll see it again and they'll be like, oh wow, you know, maybe I should click on that. You know, and then you're going to get a lot cheaper clicks down there, and it's still going to help you rank, okay? A lot of people make the mistake of when they get in the top 5, they turn off that campaign or that keyword. But again, if you look here, 90% of it is still coming from product pages, okay? And we don't really know how Amazon determines this, but my assumption would be it's product pages from people that used that search. So, for example, if somebody searched camping tent and then they went and clicked on a page, okay, and you're bidding for camping tent keyword, now that somebody's on your competitor's page, Amazon knows that you're bidding on that specific keyword and will probably show your ad based on your bid on that page, okay? I know it can get a little bit confusing. If you have any questions, ask me down in the comments. And I'm going to show you one more thing here. This is the Helium 10 keyword tracker. And this thing just had an update here in the last month or so. And it's really awesome because what happens is, and this is just an example product. I don't sell this, you know, Julia beeswax candle, but it's a product that I found previously in one of my product research videos. So if you want to find that, it was a good product to sell. Just look up my product research. But the important thing here is this new update here that shows sponsored rank. Because what happens is, let's just say you have 2 or 3 or 4 products on Amazon. Say you have 4 products on Amazon, okay? And then let's also say that you have PPC running for all 4 of those products, okay? And let's just say you're bidding on like a good 20 or 30 keywords for each of them, and you have an auto campaign running, you know, and you just got the whole shebang, right? And let's just say it's all running well. The thing is that you don't have time to go and search on Amazon for each keyword to see where your ad is showing up, okay? And again, Amazon can show your ad differently to people who are logged into their Amazon account versus someone who's browsing Amazon, you know, and not logged in, or like from an incognito browser. Okay, so Amazon's going to show your ad differently, and you just don't have time to go and look at 30 different searches to see where your ad is showing when it is showing in the keyword results. So this Helium 10 keyword tracker is awesome because, like for this example product, you know, for beeswax candle, it's showing on 17, and the sponsored ad position is number 18, and it shows, look, it moved up 27 spots here. Okay, or for example, this keyword, you know, it's showing 31. And these keywords, it's not even showing in the top 100 sponsored spots. Okay, so for example, like this guy for scented candles, he doesn't rank at all for scented candles. This is his organic rank. He's not even in the top 300. And he's also not in sponsored rank. So he might want to launch a campaign for scented candles, that specific keyword, and see if he can get it to rank. Because again, his ad's not showing and his organic rank is not showing at all. So he's getting no visibility for this 30,000 searches a month for scented candle. And if you're selling a scented candle, you might want to rank for that. So Helium 10, if you need Helium 10, I have a link down below with a 50% off coupon for the first month. Okay, also I'm going to announce the free call giveaway. So right here is the winner for this week. If you want to be entered into the next free call giveaway where we can talk for whatever you want to talk about and I can help you guys out, just leave a comment down below and hit the bell icon after subscribing. I'm going to link a couple of my other PPC videos on this screen. Make sure you check them out because they're very informative, just like this video is. And I will see you in the next video.